Hello everybody and welcome to the 2022 NBA Draft. Denver Nuggets are on the board, and Colin, I could grant them one wish. I think it would be to stay healthy. But unfortunately, that's not an option in this draft. So I had them taking, or you had them taking, Kenny Chandler here.
This was the Ty Washington off the board. I think at the end of the day, you have to have insurance for Jamal Murray. Obviously, Jokic has been MVP the last 2 years. He can do it all. You still need a guy that can kind of take the ball out of his hands and give him a break. I mean, that's really what's limiting the Nuggets' ceiling here. I think Ty Washington is that player. And he's not just a, not just a guy who can pass the ball. He's also a guy that has scoring potential. I mean, has all the in-between game that you can want in a player. The only thing you're really missing is that strength and toughness around the rim. And I think that'll eventually come. It's just you need it to be there, and I think like that says, healthy Jamal Murray, healthy Michael Porter Jr. That's what you have to have, and
not for nothing, the guard rotation behind Jamal Murray has been extremely thin.
Yeah, like you have Monty Morris.
I mean, Campazzo. You got Austin Rivers had minutes. There's like, all right, you have all these guys. Just draft Ty Washington to make life easy on yourself. I'm not saying he's going to be your They're going to solve all your problems as far as your depth at guard, but I think it starts to.
Yeah.
I wouldn't take a Blake Wesley here personally. I just think you want a guy with a higher floor in this situation because Nikola Jokic has won back-to-back MVPs, and you do not have much to show for it in the past 2 years because of the injuries and because of your lack of depth at guard. So, draft a guard that can play, and that guard is Ty Washington to me.
I completely agree, and I had Kenny Chandler on our mock draft, but that was, like I said, without Ty Washington. I think Kenny Chandler would be the pick after that if you're going to take him, but that's only because it's the guard insurance, right? And he can add speed and kind of come in as a spark plug, but I don't think his ceiling is at all anywhere near what Ty Washington is.
I'm going to throw two more names out there. Wendell Moore, as a kind of a bigger guard / wing, 6'5", 6'6" guy that I think could plug in nicely for them. I'm higher on him than you are, I know that. And then Jaden Hardy. If nothing else, I know this team doesn't need scoring per se, but I think
it could help.
Yeah, it could help. Don't draft Kenny Chandler.
And with the 21st pick in the 2022 NBA Draft, the Denver Nuggets select Christian Braun.
Wow.
University of Kansas.
Let me think about this.
I don't hate it.
I love Christian Braun. I love Christian Braun as a player. We talked about him with the Warriors because he was the guy
I drafted him 28 to the Warriors.
That is a really high floor player. He can do everything. I mean, not everything, but he has a lot of good skills. 3-point shooting being, the big one, right? I mean, so
I always feel bad when players have to sit in the stands. I mean, I know it's not only the fans. I know there's a lot of players in there. Okay. Make the ring move bigger. That's my protest. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, I mean, he's a winner. I mean,
timeout. I can't say that. We can't say that because we ripped Ochai Agbaji.
I like him better.
Okay, I do not have him high. I had Ochai Agbaji 31. I had him 32. Here's the thing. I think he has a really high floor. I think Ochai Agbaji has a pretty high floor. The thing is, I think Christian Braun might be more athletic.
Oh, he's more athletic.
Like defense.
But I think he is. I mean, I think it's not by a lot, but I think he has a higher ceiling as well. I have him as like a Wes Matthews type player. He'll get you threes. He'll play defense. I mean, that's the type of player he is in my opinion. I mean, he averaged 14 points a game. He shot 38% from three. I mean, he's an overachiever, jack of all trades, master of none type player, and I think that's the kind of guy outside of a point guard that the Nuggets need.
I look at him a similar way of Ochai Agbaji personally. I'm not super high on either one of them. However, you plug him in to the Nuggets, and I think that makes more sense than Ochai Agbaji to the Cavs. Personally, I just think you play him off of Nikola Jokic, and that makes sense to me. Ochai Agbaji to the Cavaliers, we won't get back into it, doesn't make as much sense to me. So I think from a fit perspective, I just like it.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I like the pick. So congratulations here to the Nuggets, because I think you get yourself a solid player.
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
Congratulations. The Nuggets are back on the board. 30th pick, last pick of the first round. They took Christian Braun with the 21st pick. And Colin, I actually liked that fit. Now where can they go? Kenny Chandler?
So I actually had it swapped, I think. I had Kenny Chandler going to the Nuggets on their earlier pick.
then I took Justin Lewis in this.
Then you took Justin Lewis in this spot. So
I think that, but Justin Lewis is obviously more of a high upside player than Christian Braun. Whereas Christian Braun, you can just plug in and play.
Yeah, exactly.
The question is, and this is why we thought they would take like a Ty Washington or somebody else. Jaden Hardy is still on the board. You kind of need some backcourt help, right? Even though the injury is kind of exposed, for lack of a better word, their lack of depth. I think Jaden Hardy makes a lot of sense here. Andrew Nembhard is another guard I like.
Interesting.
So there you go.
30th pick in the 2022 NBA Draft, the Oklahoma City Thunder select Peyton Watson.
Ooh, that's a big swing. Big swing for Peyton Watson. Wow. Wow. I'm glad. Aren't you glad I threw him in there? And when I was like, hey, this guy could go in the first round too. I didn't think he would actually go. Now, this is kind of similar to Patrick Baldwin.
I don't know if it is.
Why not?
Because he didn't start.
But, okay, Patrick Baldwin played like 12 games. I'm saying they didn't produce a ton in college. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, okay.
But they were both highly, highly graded players coming out of high school. So I look at this the same way I look at Patrick Baldwin. And if we're going to applaud the Warriors, the difference is we applauded the Warriors for that because they already have young players that can play.
Not only that, they've won.
And they've won
a team that is trying to win. I think you need to get the Jaden Hardy.
You need to get EJ Liddell.
EJ Liddell. So a player like that. Whereas now this,
Trevor Keels.
I mean, he's unproven.
Yeah.
He's unproven now, obviously, and he's unproven in college. So this is a really interesting pick because you had a lot of guys that Trevor Keels, instant defensive plus. Who else do we have? I mean, earlier we said Ty Washington. Kendall Brown, instant athleticism.
Christian Koloko,
Trevor Keels,
Andrew Nembhard, Kennedy Chandler,
Jaden Hardy.
Yeah.
I mean, these are all guys that have a skill that can contribute now. Although they're not going to be the highest players in the draft or anything like that, you had guys that could instantly come in and help in some way. Whereas Peyton Watson, I don't see him coming in at all.
He's not helping them right away. And so this is the thing. Maybe it's kind of like their version of that Nikola Jovic pick from the Heat. Maybe it's like they don't want to spend a roster spot on him, but I don't see why, because if you can get a contributor at this cheap, late in the first round, why not take your shot?
EJ Liddell not going in the first round is really surprising to me.
It is.
For any contender. Miami, like we said, you wanted this draft and stash. I think the Nuggets could have picked him. I think the Warriors could have picked him. I think he's the perfect player to have on a team that wants to win now because he has those attributes and he's shown that he's able to learn really fast. And the fact that, I mean, he could have learned from Nikola Jokic. He could have learned from Draymond Green. He could have learned from Bam Adebayo. He had a role to play on all these teams, and it's surprising me on teams that want to win now outside of the Warriors that he wasn't chosen.
I agree. Well said.
Well said.
There's pick 30 for us. We are done. Obviously, the draft will continue, but we have to upload these videos, which take a long time. So, Nuggets fans, you're watching our last pick. We appreciate y'all's support throughout this. We hope y'all enjoyed our coverage, and we will talk to y'all next year.